Hi guys, Dodoink here from my Dodoinkian channel, and welcome to my domination ore map. Today we're going to be doing a step-by-step walkthrough of the redstone and how it works and what makes this game possible to function, I guess. Alright, so we're going to do this in sections, hopefully. Try and talk about the redstone in little parts. Try not to jump back in between topics. You know, try and make it as clean as I possibly can. So when people start, they will start here. This is the spawn area marked out. And my first mistake that I made when making the map is, yes, the map is over spawn point. So when people join, sometimes they join up there in the redstone or on the map. So that is the first flaw to this map, unfortunately. Well, anyways, moving on. These pegs here, these legs, are the main function that make the game possible in order to start the game. So these levers here, these signify whether the room is activated or not. So if you only had, 4 players, you would want to shut off 2 rooms, or for 4 rooms, and only have the 4 rooms open for the 4 total players. What this does here is when you turn the room off and the player isn't able to go in, it sends a redstone line up and it'll ready the room. It readies the room as if there's a player up there, because the game won't start until all the rooms are ready. So, yeah, me being the only person here, this is the only room that has not been readied. So after this horrible long ladder walkway up, you come up here to this little hallway to the spawn room. This is what the spawn room looks like. You are currently locked in. You can't go into the map until the game starts. And that happens as soon as everybody readies up. The ready up lever is right there. When you ready up, the lights turn on, and voila. It now allows you to start the game. Now, it is set up to where if any player decides to turn the lever back off, it won't do anything. Now, the door here is on a time delay. Yada yada. About 5 seconds, give or take. Look at that, get out of my way. And the time delay, how that works out, we have on this side, we have the button on the other side of here. It's inverted, so when you hit the button, it turns the torch off, gets inverted again. This torch will turn on for the button length, send it along these repeaters around the room here into the floor where the door is at. Alrighty, so that is the initial startup of the game. All these 2 rooms here, when you ready up, the lever is located on the diamond block, and when you flick the lever, it comes around here and it'll light the room up like this one here. So the room is lit up, the lever is on. Oh, and we didn't, well, I guess it doesn't matter, game already started. But we'll flick this just to have them all on for video's sake. So now both the rooms turn on. It sends a signal down to this line here where they all meet up into these contraptions. Turns off the torches, turns them on. Once they all are activated, it sends the initial pulse to start the game. It also goes to the smart piston here, which lets you out of your room, which we already seen. So like I said, if you hit the lever again, takes away power, but it still stays on due to this memory cell here. So that's good. Alright, so once the game starts, this redstone will trigger on, and what will happen here is redstone will go through to the piston second, and it'll go through here first. This is a pulse limiter, so it doesn't have a single super long continuous line of redstone going. So you activate it, it sends just a little pulse through, and then it'll start the timer, turn the room on. Oh, and we fail. Gotcha. Alright, so And same thing goes here. Smart piston just pushes it out the way, so if redstone access happens again, it does nothing. Alrighty. So go ahead and do that one more time. And what happens here is it comes over here and it gets split. There is repeaters before the initial timer, and also it gets, or not also, but these timers, or these repeaters here, they time, or they give enough time for the room to actually turn on. So those repeaters account for how many repeaters it takes for the signal to actually do every function it needs to do as the room turns on. So when the signal splits here, comes up here, goes over here to this T flip-flop. T flip-flop is a double powered T flip-flop. Right now it's locking the room. So if we come over here, these are locked. You can't access the 3 button presses to activate your room. And when it gets turned on here, simulate turning it on by a button press. It does a few things. It turns on both silver and golds. These are the memory cell units that let you know which team is in control. So it allows you to turn that on, so now the buttons will work in the designated zones. And it also goes to, right here, it also goes to the lights around the room to let you know which one to capture. There you go. So if this room was off, these pistons would be down, glowstone would be located in the floor. And when it's turned on, they get extended, and it lets you know what room is turned on. Well, you're like, okay, the room's turned on, well, what does that mean? That means here that these pistons retract. This reset line is now turned off, so the pistons are now able to be move the blocks. So let's replicate someone pressing a button. What's going to happen is the cobblestone generator here will push the piston up into the cell slot, activating the memory cell. And once you get up to the 3rd tier here, it does the point counter and all that fun stuff. Alrighty, so room turns on, activates the lights, turns on both players' perspective button presses, and the timer goes, because we split the signal here. So the room will turn on, the timer will go. Once the timer finishes going, it'll come back up here, go 2 ways, back up to the T flip-flop to turn it back off, and on its way to the next room. So the room is currently on. Let's come up here to the map, to the room that is turned on here. We can see that the room is on based on the lights, double piston extender, in comparison to these rooms here where the lights are in the floor. That's how you distinguish it on or off. You come over here, you can press the button, and this will notify how many button presses you have. And once you get to your 3rd button press, it will activate your points, and your points will start going up until the room either shuts off or the other player comes around and decides he wants to capture. Now note, you could have 2 blocks pressed and it won't do anything for your silver side. Until you have all 3, will it activate the reset button for these, turn on your silver, and turn off the gold. And then, after about 1 minute and 40 seconds, give or take, the room will come back down here. Oh, lost. There we are. and the room will turn itself off. The reset line pushes all the blocks out, and now the third tier is no longer counting points for anybody. The lights go back down, and yeah, it goes on its merry little way to the next room. Alrighty, so that is pretty much how each individual room zone gets captured. There's 5 of these. They're all mimicked the exact same way. Once they loop around once, they come in here to this contraption. This contraption lets the game loop around twice before ending itself. So we could replicate that here. This would be the first one. This already gave the initial pulse. It started and it goes on its way. And then when it comes back down this line, what it'll do is the electricity will go into these repeaters. The pulse will go through the line, continue, starting it over once again. The piston will then push it out the way to stop the pulse. And this is what happens at the end of the game. So when you signify the pulse going on here, it only goes through the first line. It doesn't even attempt going up through here. So now that you've restarted the game, or the loop I should say, because it loops around twice, each room opens up 2 times, and then once it comes back again, it's going to come around and it's going to go up top here to signify the stupid ding 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 all the way around the map, and it's just going to keep going on its little loop until the map is exited. So that is how you know the game is over. Once all the lights are back down, you hear that no one's counting points, you're like, well, gold obviously won this. And yeah, these right here, CMB Minecraft tutorials, look it up for yourself. I copied it to the T, so much credit goes to him. Amazing devices. Guy's a genius. Other than that, this cobblestone generator here, not mine. Found this on YouTube. The only thing that made it mine is turning it into memory cell devices that give out power once a certain block is in a certain hole. But yes, this design here, not mine. I don't know the guy's name, can't give him credit, but pretty sure if you look up cobblestone generators, this guy will pop up rather quickly. Other than that, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed my redstone walkthrough. Hope that helped you out understanding the physics of gameplay. And yeah, be on the lookout for more maps on my Domination channel. Thank you guys for watching.